Hi, it's Brennan Carter, BrennanCarter211.com, and I'm here with Dr. Miami. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well. Okay, we're going to start the interview off. Just tell the people what it is that you do.
I'm a plastic surgeon, and I make people feel better about their bodies. And not only that, I also Snapchat my surgeries so that people can get a glimpse behind the scenes into what surgery is all about. And most of my patients are women between the ages of 18 and 50. Actually, all of them. And I do mostly mommy makeovers, tummy tucks, Brazilian butt lifts, breast augmentations, breast lifts, that kind of thing.
Did you always want to be a plastic surgeon? Was that what you knew what you wanted to do?
I knew I wanted to be a surgeon since I was a little kid. I used to watch a TV show called MASH, which is actually a sitcom, but I didn't know that at the time. I thought that's what surgeons did, is they operated on people and made jokes and stuff, and it looked like a cool job, so I kind of had my heart set on that. I never really heard about plastic surgery until I got to college, and my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, got into a car accident, and she had a scar on her chin, and it bothered her. So she looked up a plastic surgeon in the Yellow Pages, and we went in, and when she went in for a consultation, on the waiting room desk was a book of before and after pictures. I'd never seen anything like that. This is before the age of digital photography and things like that. People really didn't talk about plastic surgery much. And when she went in for a consultation, I looked at these pictures, and it just blew me away. I was like, where'd the nose go? And how'd the tummy get like that? And, whoa, is that the same person? Mm-hmm. And when she came out, I'm like, tell me, what is this? And she's like, this is plastic surgery. And the next summer I started med school, I went right to the plastic surgery department. And I said, I will do anything you want. I will wash your car. I will pick up your laundry. Whatever you need, just please teach me what you know. And that was a long time ago. And I've done nothing but, pursue that goal since then.
Okay. When did you start pursuing? What I'm trying to get to is you've been doing it so long, so where you see the growth and where it comes from, where when it initially was something people were ashamed of doing, to now people are very extremely open.
Yeah, so. It's changed a lot. Look, when I was in the 90s, early 90s, if you asked somebody what plastic surgery was, they would say it's something that makes old people look kind of weird. Like it makes your face look tighter, and that's pretty much the only plastic surgery we talked about. Yeah, there were some breast lifts and breast augmentations and things like that. Maybe strippers got or whatever, but it was definitely not mainstream by any stretch of the imagination. Right. Slowly but surely, as there were more plastic surgeons trained in the 90s, and as the technology got better and cheaper, more people started doing it, but it was still kind of on the hush-hush. Fast forward to the 2000s, about 2010, there was a good amount of growth, but more importantly, once social media started entering the picture, and people started, digital photography started taking off. People were sending pictures to each other, and talking about how she looked like that. She didn't look like that when I saw her in high school. She didn't look like that in college. She looks different. People started talking about the fact that people were getting procedures to change their appearance. Still, celebrities didn't really talk about it. Like, most celebrities wouldn't admit to doing anything.
Right.
That changed, I would say, about 5 years ago. Suddenly, celebrities were admitting to having had plastic surgery. And as Instagram and Snapchat took off, it's like the dam broke. And now it's not only acceptable, it's almost like a luxury item that people want to get, like a Bugatti or it's like they just or a fancy handbag. They want to have plastic surgery. They want to brag about it. They want to tell people they've had it. They want to share their experiences online and social media as they go through it. It's a big change in people's perception about it.
I would want to say in many cases we've seen certain celebrities be a little more extreme, to where they're not as recognizable as they was, say, when they first came out or 10 years ago.
The problem with celebrities is that sometimes the people around them just say yes, yes, yes. They're never used to hearing no. So even if it's a bad idea, they'll find a doctor, or the people around them will encourage them to do something that might not be in their best interest. So yeah, definitely there are celebrities that overdo it, and especially when it comes to, for some reason, like lip injections and the fillers to the face. I mean, there's a lot of people just that don't know when to stop. Yeah, so I've seen that.
Is it a reason that would you tell a customer like I don't need this, or is it or you just do it?
All the time. I turn away about 15% of my patients, the people that come in the door.
Okay.
15% of people come in the door, I turn away. I say, you don't need surgery, you don't need fillers, or you've done too much, it's time to stop, put the knife down, put your credit card away. This is not, because plastic surgery only helps if there's an actual physical, thing that can be made better.
Right.
It's to make people, but if the problem's in your mind, that can't be fixed with a knife.
Deep. That's deep. That's really deep.
Yeah.
For you say you do them as young as 18.
Yeah.
Do you feel 18 is? 18 seems really young.
It depends what it's for, though. But
okay.
So, 18 is young, and I've operated on. I think my youngest cosmetic patient was 12.
12 years old.
That's pretty young, right? But now it all depends on the situation. A 12-year-old's not going to get a butt lip, but if a 12-year-old has what's called macromastia, where they are premature puberty, where they have huge breasts, and it's interfering with their ability to go to school, not be teased, or get just walk around and run. There's no reason to let a teenager suffer through high school with something that's easily correctable with surgery. So it depends. And now, a lot of girls will get nose jobs even at age 16 or 17 because their faces stop growing, and it's not like they're suddenly going to grow into their nose. For boys, it's a little bit later. So, the youngest boys usually don't have surgery till they're 18, 19, let's say, for a rhinoplasty. The one exception for teenage boys is gynecomastia. Sometimes boys will grow like breasts, and it can be really debilitating for them as they go through high school. In the locker room, especially. I practice at Miami where everybody's on the beach all the time. So in those cases, we can make exceptions and operate on teenagers for those kinds of things.
Right.
But I would never put breast implants in a 15-year-old girl or do a Brazilian butt lift on a 17-year-old.
Right. Right. When I think about that, that's what I'm thinking about. Literally just a cosmetic of I want to look like this. Like if a 17-year-old came to you and said, I want to look like this.
We tell them to come back when they're older. They're not. It's not. First of all, ethically it's not right.
Right.
But also legally. To do real surgery, you should get parental consent. And it should be, and it's a rare parent that wants their 16-year-old to have breast implants.
As far as older, just grown, how are your men clientele? What do men come in for?
So men come in for liposuction, number one, rhinoplasty, nose jobs, chin implants. We've had a new operation, which is a penis implant. It's actually just FDA cleared this year, which is interesting, and we've got a lot of inquiries for that. Those are the main things that gynecomastia, male breast reduction, that kind of thing.
Okay, so for the male, is it to make it bigger, wider?
Yeah, to make it bigger, make it wider. So basically, it's like you don't get any shrinkage. If a guy comes out of a pool or it's cold, a lot of guys, their penis will kind of shrink up.
Right.
So this implant just sits underneath the skin in a deeper plane under the fascia, and so your flaccid length increases. So when it's not hard, it stays at like a respectable 4 inches or something, and then it also increases the girth on erection or flaccid. So
would you say it's safe and worth getting? If you're,
it depends. I just learned how to do it this year, and the guy I learned from has done 4,000, and it's probably got like a 90-something%, 93, 94% satisfaction rate. So for the vast majority of people, it's worth it.
Okay.
But not for everybody. You know, I mean, it's a personal thing.
Right.
I mean, it can always be removed. I mean, if you don't like, you can take it out. It's kind of like a breast implant in that way.
Oh, so it's a little thing that just sits in your penis.
It's pretty painful. It's pretty painful. I mean, we're looking at, you can't have sex for 6 weeks. And then every time you get an erection for the first month, it's kind of painful. It's kind of sore.
Oh, so you literally have to literally be worth it to do it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's really nothing else out there quite like it. There's really nothing else that can achieve as much in that area. And I think it's the beginning of the technology. I feel like in the next 10, 15 years, the implants will improve or maybe be less painful or whatever.
Do you think, what do you think is the growth, and what do you see plastic surgery going to in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, I don't see much changing per se, unless there's some great technological advances I don't know about. I think it's just going mainstream more even. Like, right now, maybe 1% of the people that want to get plastic surgery actually get it. I think that in the next 10 years, like 5% of the people that want to get it will get it. There's a huge upside potential as far as the amount of people that want it that don't have it yet. And then, maybe the penis thing. That could be that could be a very big market as well.
Men just constantly want bigger penises.
Yeah, and it's never big enough. I mean, we have patients, they're like 8 inches. They're like, I want to be 10. I'm like, really?
Yeah, but sometimes women can't even tolerate that.
No, they cannot. That's not for everyday use. That's what I tell them. I'm like, you're gonna beat it up, and then she's not gonna want you to touch her anymore.
Yeah, because if a penis is too big, it can be uncomfortable for women. So sometimes,
absolutely,
big penises are.
That's what I tell myself to get through the day.
some stuff is just for show. Like they like to look at it, like, oh, look at that. That looks nice.
Yeah. But it's a signal, It's more. It's like feathers on some birds, They just kind of attract a mate. But I don't know how useful it is after a certain length.
Just so we can be objectified, basically.
Yes, we want to be objectified like women. Exactly.
Except women hate it, and that's what
tough. It's tough. Yeah, everybody wants what they don't have.
Right.
Men can't wait to be objectified,
Right. Wake up in the morning to live for it. When people come in, what do you ask, or what's the detail like to getting to know a person before you either say you're going to do this or you turn them away?
So, I mean, obviously at the beginning we start with like a medical history. Just make sure they're healthy, how old they are. I don't operate on people over the age of 50. Actually, I'm pretty strict about my criteria. I don't operate on smokers, diabetics, any medical problems whatsoever. So that's the first hurdle. Then the psychological hurdle is, it's a combination of my interview with the patient, and I find out a little bit about them, why they're coming to me now, and the interview that the girls in the office have with them. So like it's sort of a collective thing, because like sometimes a patient will be one way with the doctor and another way with the staff.
Right.
So it's really, really important. So what I do is essentially, psychiatry with a knife. The point is to make them happy and to change something that bothers them. But if there are deeper issues that are not fixable with surgery, we need to know about them ahead of time, because then they won't be happy anyway. So sometimes I'm able to, pick up on things, but sometimes the girls in the office are better at it. When I say girls in the office, I mean the coordinators, staff, people that interact. So every interaction in some way is like a test, for the patient, and to see if they're a good candidate for us. And then we also have some written questionnaires and things like that. And sometimes patients, if their answers are off or they don't score well on this test, then we have to decline them for psychological reasons. So it's a little bit rigorous. It's like a little bit of like an application process, but also at the same time, patients are like testing us and seeing if we're a good fit. I think the most important thing is that expectations are realistic for the patient, and that the personalities of the patient and the surgeon and staff kind of click, so everybody can have a good experience.
When you so liposuction for men.
Yep.
What do you Do you have, so when they get the liposuction, I'm just trying to word it, like, I know you have to keep that up, as in like exercise and stuff like that.
Yes, of course. It's not a miracle.
Yes.
And that means working out, eating right, and all that stuff. Liposuction does not make you look great forever.
Right, yeah. I can think people think when they get it, like, oh, I'm done. People don't.
No way.
Most people don't know that they have to. That's when the working out really is probably the most important.
Exactly. That's what's most important, because you look great and you're gonna mess it up. If you eat, it will come back. The fat will come back somewhere, and it's not gonna look good.
Have you had those cases where the guys had to come back because they didn't take care of it or work out?
Yeah. And it's a big "I told you so." I don't like saying it, but
Have you had to work on a person more than once, or is it a limit to how many times you will work on them? As far as they keep wanting to come back.
There's no limit per se, and yes, I've worked on people once, of course. Mm-hmm. But it's usually over a number of years. It's like some people age. It's not, like I said, it's not a miracle. It doesn't stop time. So, I've been in practice for a long time, so I've seen patients come back over the years. Right. Also, women's bodies change. They have babies and things, so their breasts need to be lifted again, or their tummies tucked. So,
right,
you develop a relationship with them over years as they go through life.
You personally, what do you want your legacy to be in this field, and what do you want people to truly know about plastic surgery, as opposed to most people have this negative perception of it? Pretty much, in the open arms.
That's my legacy. I hope that it will open people's minds to plastic surgery and see that it really does empower and transform lives. And it takes courage to do it. It takes courage to change anything in your life. But plastic surgery is going to be a great benefit to a lot of people, and that's what I want my legacy to be. That people understand where I'm coming from, and don't judge people because they have plastic surgery. And understand that it can be a very powerful, positive thing in many people's lives. That's it.
Thank you. Can you please tell people where they can find you, where they can look you up, all your
Sure. You can Google Dr. Miami. It should come up, or you can follow me on social media, The Real Dr. Miami, on all social media: Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it. Hi, this is Dr. Miami, and I'm with Brandon Carter on 211.com.